What's going on YouTube? I'm E and this is Simply Put Scents. And guys, I wanted to share with you my top 10 spring list for 2017. And this list is going to be a little different from other lists that I've been doing. Pretty much this year I'm going to expand the options. Okay, it's not going to be just fragrances under $35, but of course I'm going to make sure that, again, this list is going to include a lot of fragrances that are pretty accessible, pretty affordable, and won't break your banks. But at the end of the day, they will definitely smell great for the spring, and I think enhance your image. If you haven't, get samples of these because I think they're really, really good. And it was hard for me to kind of rank them, which is always a good sign. So anyway, let's just get started. I wanted to share with you guys my honorable mentions. So my first honorable mention is from the house of Mont Blanc, and the fragrance is Individuel. So guys, the three words that I would use to describe this fragrance: floral, clean, laundry. This fragrance is a crisp scent that gets a lot of love from a lot of ladies, but I noticed that there are a lot of guys that don't care for the smell too much. It's one of the longest lasting fresh fragrances for men in the designer market. And another thing, it's extremely affordable, and it may have been the inspiration behind Creed's original Santal, which I think is a huge compliment to the scent. My second honorable mention is from the house of Carolina Herrera, and the fragrance is Chic for Men. The three words that I would use to describe Chic for Men: watermelon, juicy, versatile. The thing about Chic for Men is you could pretty much wear it for any scenario, any occasion, in any weather situation. And the really interesting thing is even though it was done in the early 2000s, it has a scent profile that kind of reminds you of what's coming out now. The really cool thing I noticed about Chic for Men is this watermelon. The use of watermelon is rarely used in men's fragrances, and it's really done well in Chic for Men. And it's not done in a way where you could say it's feminine by any means. It's absolutely a masculine smell. So here we go, guys. We're getting into this list. Starting at number 10, the fragrance is Cartier's Roadster. The three words that I would use to describe Cartier's Roadster: minty, work, upscale. The reason why I would say upscale is because the quality of this fragrance is pretty good. It doesn't smell cheap. It doesn't smell generic at all. It's actually a very unique smelling fragrance, and that's one of the things I really appreciate about it. Mint notes are usually extremely chemical, but not in Roadster. It's actually done very, very well. The main notes in Cartier's Roadster is going to be vetiver, mint, and vanilla, and it works. And number 9, guys, is from the house of Guerlain, and the fragrance is Guerlain Homme Intense. The three words that I would use to describe Guerlain Homme Intense: mint, boozy, sweet. This is another fragrance that uses the note of mint in a very, very nice way. Again, usually I'm not a fan of mint. This fragrance does it beautifully. It works really well with the boozy notes, the vetiver, and the citruses. Even though it has, I would say, a more conventional vibe, the quality is definitely there. And yeah, Guerlain Homme Intense, number 9. Number 8, from the house of Kenzo, the fragrance is Kenzo Power Cologne. The three words that I would use to describe Kenzo Power Cologne: balmy, floral, and fresh. I prefer this over the original Kenzo Power because I like the fresher nature of this scent to that of the original. To me, Kenzo Power Cologne reminds me of like a warm weather version of Yves Saint Laurent's Opium for Men. They both share Tolu balsam. That note is very noticeable in both fragrances, and I love it. And the other cool thing about this version compared to the original, it's a lot more masculine. Number 7 is from the house of Lalique, and the fragrance is Encre Noir Sport. The three words that I would use to describe this fragrance, guys: modern black ink. This is another very crisp fragrance with a unique modern style. It takes the original Encre Noir, adds some citruses to it, amps it up a lot. Kind of tones down the ink a little bit, but it's definitely still there and present. And just makes the original Encre Noir a much more modern, much more forward, contemporary style scent with that unique ink vibe. A lot of people would consider this a dumbed down version of the original Encre Noir, but guys, I really love it, and I think it's probably the most appealing of the entire Encre Noir line. Number 6 is from the house of Issey Miyake, and the fragrance is Le Bleue d'Issey pour Homme. The three words that I would use to describe this fragrance: unique, spicy, and green. Yes, guys, green for sure. I don't know why they called this fragrance Bleue or Blue, because at the end of the day, this fragrance is far from a blue style fragrance. This is much more of a green style scent. And the three fragrance notes that you're gonna notice that come screaming at you: cypress, rosemary, juniper. All extremely green notes. It's a really good wet weather type of scent. Some people will probably not love it, but what it will do is it'll make you stand out, because no one will smell like this. So it'll make you memorable. Number 5 is from the house of Jimmy Choo, and the fragrance is Jimmy Choo Man Intense. So the three words that I would use to describe this fragrance: easy, modern, generic. It's very easy to wear, it's a very modern style scent, and it's also extremely generic. But don't let that scare you too much, guys, because this is a lot more than just a generic fragrance. I think this is a scent that should get a lot more attention from people who will purchase Sauvage and Bleu de Chanel. You ain't lying. It smells a lot like Jimmy Choo Man, which is a really nice smelling fragrance. The issue is it just doesn't last. So yeah, this is a modern day generic in my opinion. That's what I call these styles of fragrances that just don't really have the most character, but are really easy to wear, really easy to pull off, and basically is really easy to like.
I am McLovin.
Okay, so yeah, it is a little bit generic though, but I mean, not every scent has to be a work of art that you can wear. Number 4, from the house of Zara, guys. Yes, I'm gonna add a Zara fragrance. I did a first impressions video, but I haven't uploaded it or edited it yet. So guys, that's coming. But this fragrance, I had to mention it, and I had to put it on my spring list because I really think you guys will definitely appreciate this. This is another fragrance that I think works beautifully for the nighttime in spring, and it will be another fragrance that I think will do a great job in warm, wet weather. So yeah, guys, this fragrance from the house of Zara, the fragrance is Wood Noir. The three words that I would use to describe this fragrance: dark, sweet, fresh. Now yeah, that's really, really difficult to do. It's difficult to pull off a fresh fragrance that also is dark. And that is kind of like an oxymoron in the fragrance world. But actually, this fragrance is dark and this fragrance is fresh. And it does it in a really cool way. It's very interesting, it's very weird. It almost has a Middle Eastern style, and it'll make you really shocked that Zara pulled this off. It does not smell like a run-of-the-mill mass market style fragrance at all. And yet it comes from Zara, go figure. Number 3 is from the house of Armani, and the fragrance is Acqua di Gio Profumo. So the three words that I would use to describe Acqua di Gio Profumo would have to be professional, depth, versatile. To me, this is without doubt the most put together Acqua di Gio scent ever made for men. I think this fragrance makes the original obsolete by leaps and bounds. Whatever you decide to wear this for, it works for that scenario. This fragrance is the epitome of versatile, but in my opinion, it works perfectly and probably best in the springtime. Absolutely love this scent. And this scent actually lasts, and it's fresh. You can't go wrong with Acqua di Gio Profumo. Number 2 is from the house of Hermes, and the fragrance is Bel Ami Vetiver. The 3 words that I would use to describe Bel Ami Vetiver by Hermes is leather, tea, and quality. Yeah, guys, this fragrance kind of reminds me of like tea with orange rinds and a Hermes leather bag. That's what this fragrance smells like to me. Straight up. This is another very versatile fragrance that works beautifully for the springtime. It has leather, styrax, geranium, vetiver, and it does an amazing job with all these notes, and it combines to make an amazing springtime scent. Now, it gives you the impression that it's upscale because of the quality, and the inherent quality of the scent is high. But don't let that fool you. Bel Ami Vetiver, versatile. Here we go, guys. Number 1, I'm glad you all have gotten down to this number with me. To me, this fragrance is spring in a bottle. It's odd, it's different, it's weird, but it smells so damn good. And it's from the house of Narciso Rodriguez. For him. For him, guys. For him. This house, Narciso Rodriguez, does musk better than probably any designer house at the moment in the game. This fragrance is clean. This fragrance is musky. This fragrance reminds you of, yes, wet cement. This is a daring scent. This is not your average, easy to wear, everyday type of fragrance. Personally though, I think this is definitely a signature worthy fragrance. This is another scent that you could wear all year round, but I think it works perfectly for the spring, and it absolutely is one of the best wet weather fragrances you can choose. When it's raining and you're wearing Narciso Rodriguez for him, you're smelling awesome. And it made my number 1 last year, and it makes my number 1 this year. It's one of the best springtime options out, period. I'm curious to see if fragrances will knock it out at some point. But not this year. Not this year. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time. What do you think about this list? I know it's a little weird. There's a few different options I added this year, but I really do stand behind this list. I really do feel like these are all absolutely awesome nighttime, daytime options for the spring. These are all extremely versatile fragrances that work wonders in the springtime, and I think will do a wonderful job for you guys at this time of year. What would be your top 3 fragrances for the spring? I know there's a couple that I could have added, but yeah, I didn't. It's like I've worn a couple of those scents so much that, you know, I'm trying to give new things some light. So, you know, it is what it is. So please, guys, comment down below. Let me know what you think. Like this video if you appreciated it. And of course, subscribe to SimplyPutScents if you haven't yet. I would definitely appreciate your support, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I'm E, and this is Simply Put Scents. And I'm Simply O-U-T. Peace. It's all about you guys, and I'll definitely do my best to present more and give you as much as I can to help you guys make the best choices you can also. So